It's a heavy thing, isn't it? To pack your whole life into a few scraps of cloth. This little bundle, it's all Ruth had left as she stood at the edge of everything she knew. Would you have the heart to pick it up? To walk a road made of nothing but dust and faith? Today, my dears, we're going to find out. This is the story of a choice that changed the world. Let's light the lamp and begin. Long ago, the world was a very different place. But people's hearts were just the same as they are now. They were hearts that knew the splintering of sorrow, the quiet pulse of hope, and the heavy weight of a long and weary road. Our story starts in a place called Moab. It was a land of deep shadows and red dust. But it wasn't supposed to be home for Naomi. You see, Naomi came from Bethlehem, a name that means the house of bread. But the ovens had grown cold, and the fields had turned to ash. The rain had forgotten its way home, and the wheat had withered into ghost whispers of straw. So she and her husband and their 2 boys walked until the dust of Bethlehem was a memory, and the red rocks of Moab were their reality. For 10 years they lived there. The boys grew tall. They married 2 local girls, Orpah with her quick laugh, and Ruth with her quiet, steady eyes. But even in Moab, the song of their family began to lose its joy. One by one, like lamps running out of oil in the dead of night, the men passed away. First, Elimelech, the man who had led them to this land, and then her boys, Mahlon and Kilian, leaving the house cold and the family name on the edge of vanishing. Can you imagine that house, my dears? 3 women, 3 widows. The silence in that stone room must have been heavy enough to touch. Naomi looked at the empty chairs and felt like her heart had turned to stone. She felt forgotten by the world. She felt Mara, an old word for bitter. Then a whisper came on the wind. "There is bread again in Bethlehem," the travelers said. Naomi stood up. She had no husband to protect her, no sons to feed her. She had nothing but a small bundle of memories. She told her daughters, Go back to your mothers. There is no future for you with a bitter old woman like me." They reached the edge of the town, the crossroads. This is where the road of what we know meets the road of what could be. Orpah cried. She kissed Naomi's weathered cheek, turned around, and walked back toward the safety of Moab. And we can't blame her, can we? The unknown is a terrifying place. But Ruth, Ruth didn't move. Ruth didn't just stand there. She reached out and took Naomi's hands that were shaking and cold. She looked into Naomi's tired eyes and said words that still ring through history like a silver bell. "Don't ask me to leave you," she whispered. "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people, and your God, He will be my God." Think about that. Ruth was leaving her country. She was going to be a stranger. She had no promise of a husband or the simple security of a warm meal. She chose Naomi because she loved her, and she chose Naomi's God because she had seen a light in that now bitter woman that even the darkness of Moab couldn't blow out. Thump, thump, thump. Imagine the heat of the afternoon sun pressing down. Imagine the taste of the red dust in their mouths. They walked past the jagged rocks and the dry riverbeds. Naomi walked with her head down, feeling the weight of her years. But Ruth walked beside her, her eyes scanning the horizon, her hand always ready to steady Naomi if she stumbled. Mile after mile, day after day, until finally the red rocks began to fade and the air began to change. The air lost its sharp metallic tang of sun-baked stone and began to soften with the scent of greening earth and the sweet promise of ripening grain. As they reached the gates of Bethlehem, the sun was setting, casting long purple shadows over the valley. The whole town was buzzing. "Is it really her?" they whispered. "Is that Naomi?" But Naomi looked at them with tired eyes. "Don't call me Naomi," she said. "Call me Mara, for I went away full, and the Lord has brought me back empty." Empty? Oh, Naomi, you weren't empty at all. You just couldn't see the gift standing right next to you in the dust. You know, my dears, we all have Moab moments. Times when we feel like we've lost too much. Times when the road ahead looks like nothing but dust. But look at Ruth. She taught us that loyalty isn't just a word. It's a choice we make with our feet. She chose to be kind when it was hard. She chose to be brave when she was a stranger. Maybe today you can be a Ruth for someone. Maybe there's a friend who feels a bit bitter or lonely, and all they need is for you to say, "I'm staying. I'm walking this road with you." Because when we walk together, the road doesn't feel quite so long. And you never know, the harvest might be just around the corner. Sleep well, my dears. Remember, even in the dust, you are never walking alone. Good night.